Yesterday, President Trump de-escalated the trade war. A 90-day pause on most tariffs except for one country, China.
Stocks rose 10% in a tremendous relief rally.
They surged.
You should check your 401k today.
Greg, congratulations. Strong to quite strong.
But what remains is the USA versus China.
Yeti's Trade War Almanac Day 8. How tariffs are messing with the economy, we're keeping track for you from the tariff trenches.
Yesterday, stocks rocketed 10%, the biggest point gain ever on Wall Street. And it was all on news that Trump is standing down.
That's right, 8 days after causing the biggest financial scare in 5 years, President Trump partially undid almost all of it.
He realized he went too far with punishing tariffs to everywhere in the world.
So here's the news. For every country on Earth, including those ones that had more penguins than people, they are now getting just 10% baseline tariffs.
Whether you're Cambodia or Wakanda, there's a 90-day pause on all those punitive tariffs so that everyone can negotiate.
Now, investors, they were relieved. Wall Street, it was pumped, except we should point out there is one exception here. And who is that exception, Jack?
China. For China, Trump did the opposite. He jacked up tariffs on China to 125% after China retaliated on the U.S.
So, Jack, let's put that new tariff into context we understand. If an iPhone is made in China and costs $600 to manufacture,
it now faces a brand new $750 tax on top of that.
Add it all up, Yetis, and President Trump put the rest of the trade war on ice, but now he's playing a game of chicken with China's President Xi.
Because earlier in the day, China raised tariffs on the United States to 84%. So China versus the USA is a hotter trade war than ever.
The U.S. versus China cold trade war is heating up.
Now, Yetis, Nick and I personally believe that trade is good, unless the country you're trading with is cheating.
And to be honest, for decades, China has cheated on trade, sometimes brazenly hurting American companies.
We got 3 big examples, and none of them include tariffs, actually, but all of them hurt American companies.
So, Jack, the first way that China would hurt America on trade was good old-fashioned IP theft.
To operate in China, American companies were required to share all of their company trade secrets with a local Chinese partner.
Oh, and if you refuse to do that, well, China is a notorious hacker of American companies, so they would just kind of go in and steal your ideas.
The second thing China did to hurt American companies is currency devaluation.
Oh, yeah, China's central bank, they actually kept the price of China's currency artificially low.
Which keeps the price for made-in-China goods artificially low, and it's harder for American companies to compete.
Now, this third one is so wild. Jack actually read a book on this. China even would give out government bonuses for hurting American companies. We're talking a bully bonus here.
Here's how it went down. If a Chinese furniture company cut the prices of their dressers to be so crazy low that it put the U.S. rival company out of business,
and then China's government would step in and give that Chinese firm a bonus so that they would still profit.
They incentivized Chinese companies if they put American companies out of business.
That was a bully bonus, kind of like a little financial pat on the back, if you will.
Now, for decades, America did nothing. We hoped that China would eventually start following the rules of global trade.
Well, Trump is finally doing something about that imbalance, but the impact, it hasn't just been on China. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for all our buddies at American companies?
Winning requires isolating China, but Trump's trade war is isolating the U.S.
Yetis, we won the Cold War against Russia because of a massive alliance with Western democracies.
The U.S. could win the trade war against China with the same strategy of alliances, but so far it has not.
And here's the evidence of that. On Wednesday, the European Union, our closest ally, basically sided with China and re-tariffed the United States.
The optics of that are enormous.
They're huge.
On the same day that China attacked America with tariffs, Europe did too.
Now, forcing China to stop breaking the rules of trade, that would be a worthy goal of a trade war.
But to win that war, we would need the rest of the world on our side.
So yesterday's de-escalation of Trade War II, it could help make that happen. It could bring back allies to our side.
Because winning this trade war requires isolating China. But so far, we've just isolated the U.S.
Yetis, you look fantastic over there. If you haven't yet, drop down to give us 5 stars because that's how we grow the show.